Hi everyone, welcome back to Plum Mashable. So today's going to be one of the most highly requested videos that I've done for a little while. This is going to be my office tour. Fair warning, right now this is a long one. Go and grab yourself a drink, press pause in a second. Go and grab yourself a drink, get yourself some cookies, get ready because this is going to take about half an hour of your time. So be ready for that, fair warning. And I'm going to show you all around this office. It has taken me a good 6 months-ish to get it sorted out the way I want it. It's still not quite there. There's still a couple of little bits and pieces that need to twig, but basically I really love this room. It makes me happy when I'm in here, and I hope that you'll understand why when you've seen everything. I will put links to every single product that I can find in the description boxes down below, but if you do want any more information on anything that's in the video, just let me know by leaving me a comment or on any of my socials, and I will answer them as quickly as I possibly can. If you do stay around at the end, I have a little bit of a special announcement at the end, so if you want to hang around for that, that would be great. If you just want to skip to the end now, you can do that too, but you're going to miss the best part. So I'll flick over to the first part of the video and I'll see you again at the end. Okay, so this is my built-in robe. It's obviously designed for clothes, but I've hijacked it and used it for planner goodies instead. Up the top is kind of my junk area. I don't have anything up there that I reach for on a regular basis. There's some family history stuff up there and just some boxes, but basically everything up there doesn't get used. Underneath that, you move into the actual sort of storage area. And what I've done is I've put 2 Kallax units from Ikea in here. These are just the plain ones that you can get, just the white ones. And I bought them when they were on sale, but I think they usually go for about $89. I'll put all the details down below. And they fit in here really, really nicely. Obviously the one on the left isn't quite as far over. I've deliberately left a gap in between to put all of my sort of higher things. So my wrapping papers, adhesive papers, stuff like that. So that lives in the middle, but I'll show you that in a bit more detail in just a second. So on the top row, on the far left-hand one, we've got all my 12 by 12 paper stacks. So there's a couple there from Aldi and then there's one from Spotlight, I think. I also keep my planner boxes in there. I am working on another way to store these. Ryan's going to build me something to keep everything in, but just for the moment they live there. I do have my other planner bay boxes are kept somewhere else, so I'll show you that when we get round over there, but I've just run out of room there. The next one here, this is the Kvissle, I think that's how you say it, letter sorter from Ikea, and it basically is just a metal tin sort of thing that you put together, and it's designed, if I show you, I'll grab this one out. So it's actually only got like sort of A4 sized, but what I do is instead of having it sit all the way in, it just sort of sticks out a little bit and it doesn't let this fold up. So it sits the 12 by 12 pages in there really, really nicely. It means I can go and find them really easily, which I like. So basically I keep all of my Kaisercraft ones here, anything else here, sticker ones here, special ones here, and then bits and pieces that I've cut up sort of live in here. I just find this a really, really good way to store it. And I got the idea from a blog called Studio Pebbles. I will link the blog down below so you can see how she's put her office together. But I found it before we moved and I thought it was a great idea. So when we moved, I made sure I implemented it in here because it's just a fantastic idea for storing 12 by 12 pages. Dropping down a level, so on the left is basically where I keep all my makeup empties and other sort of bits and pieces that aren't very much planner related, so we'll skip over that one completely. In this one I have a Kallax wire unit that hangs down below that keeps all my sort of just plain coloured paper that I don't need to have it at my desk because I don't use it all that often, but it's good to know where it is. And then underneath that, I've got some bits and pieces from Kaisercraft, their little 6.5 inch paper pads, some other ones that are slightly bigger from Kmart, and I also keep a set of scales back there, just so when I'm posting stuff, I know where my scales are, I can go and find them. Moving down a level again, on the left is some family history stuff that I don't reach for particularly often, so it just sort of lives over there and is out of the way. On the right hand side, I have this drawer unit from Ikea. I'm pretty sure it's the Kallax drawers. In the bottom drawer is just some family history stuff that I haven't sorted through yet. So when I find something that I need to sort, I put it in there and then I can sort it out afterwards. In the top one, there is a full ream of really nice white paper that I bought from Officeworks and got them to cut in half. So they are the A5 size that fit perfectly in my planner. Just means that when I need a piece of paper that's just plain, I just go straight to it, grab it out. And because obviously when we took it out of the ream and cut it in half, it didn't go back into the paper wrap that it went into. That's just where I store it, and it's just a really easy spot to keep it. Dropping down another level again, and on the left hand side is all family history stuff, so completely irrelevant and boring. Down the bottom on the right hand side, it's basically just things that are pretty. There is a heater hidden in behind there, which I haven't had to use in the new house because we've got beautiful ducted heating, which makes life a lot easier. But then at the front, I've just got a pretty Mac bag and some Indota tea that I don't drink. That all just sits in there and just looks pretty, basically. So moving over to the unit on the right hand side, you can see it's a little bit further away from the wall, so I can actually use or get at everything reasonably easily. Right at the top, I have a fluffy mat from Kmart that I use to take shots. So for my thumbnails and for other sort of overhead shots, you might have been seeing I've been incorporating it a bit more lately. So that just lives at the top. I've also got a Kikki.k storage box at the top, which just keeps random receipts and stuff in there. On the first level on the left hand side, you can see my gigantic collection of Paper Lovers books. The really sad thing is, guys, this isn't my actual collection of Paper Lovers books. These are my backup Paper Lovers books. And yes, I realize that's completely ridiculous. Some of them are brand new, some of them I buy on purpose as a double. Some of them I've got in hauls and things like that, from like when you buy on Facebook, sometimes they'll have a Paper Lovers book for 10 bucks and I just grab it to round up my postage or whatever it might be. So I have kind of collected a lot. The only one, and I'll be dead honest with you right now, the only one that I don't have a double of is the original cute one, and I'm working on it. I'm going to find another one, so I have a backup of that one as well. On the right hand side, I've got a couple of bits of sort of makeup stuff at the back, but I've also got my Dream, Do, Enjoy and Share books that sit over there. You see they've got little tabs hanging out of them. They're the activities that I'm working on at the moment. And then I also just have a tin there that's got some extra pretty bits in it. So moving down to the second level, I've got another set of drawers here. In the top one, I generally keep sort of extra bits and pieces that I want to put into giveaways and things like that. So that lives in the top drawer. In the bottom drawer, I keep anything that you guys sent me. So any letters, any cards, anything at all that I get that has been sent by a subscriber lives in there. And it's basically my little, if I'm having a bad day, I go in there and it always makes me smile. So that's sort of what lives in that one. In the one on the right hand side, I keep all my Flow Paper Lovers books there. I've also got some colouring books, and then I've got some family history resources that live over that side. On the next level down, you'll sort of notice that they sort of start to get a bit empty from here. I've got all my old planner inserts, they all live in there. And if you guys want to see a more in-depth video of how I sort of store that, just let me know and I'll do that in another video. So I've also got a keyboard there, and I've got my Aldi word search book, so I tend to run in there and grab it when I've got 10 minutes and I want something to do. In the right hand side, I keep all my old planner boxes. Yes, I'm weird and I keep them all. They look so pretty, I don't want to throw them away, so they live in there. The next one down, I've got a really old scrapbook page that I did, I don't even know how long ago. But behind that is a Kaisercraft Beyond the Page storage unit that I'm in the process of redecorating. So that's a bit of a surprise for you guys later on when I finish it. So I'm not going to show you that. And then basically on the other one is empty. There's just a couple of extra little bits and pieces that live in that corner that don't really need to be seen. So in between the two units, the reason that I've left a gap is because I have these two Ikea bag, they're actually plastic bag holders. I can't remember what they're called. But they're really good for storing rolls of anything. So I've got some plain craft paper, I've got some adhesive paper, some white paper and some wrapping paper. They all live in there. It's a good way to keep them stored nicely where they're not going to get all crinkled. And I just think it's such a great way. I think they're only like $3 each, which is just awesome. Next to that, I've got just a piece of foam board that I've wrapped in marble adhesive paper. And it's just something that I use to, again, shoot thumbnails and other sort of still shots for you guys to put into my videos. The only other thing that's in here is this frame that I've kind of had for ages. It used to live at work with me and it doesn't live at work with me anymore, but I really love it. And it's just an old frame that I've spray painted silver, and then I've just wrapped some of the Kmart twinkle lights from Christmas time in here and just put some photos up on some little pegs and some string. It's just a nice sort of little place for me to put, it's like another inspiration board or another vision board that I really like to have something that's a bit more private that everyone can't see. So this one just sort of lives in here and I just put it on for myself. All right, so we've moved over to the opposite wall from my wardrobe, and in the corner here next to my window, I've got two Ikea Kallax units. The one on the left is a 9 drawer, so it's obviously a lot taller. It basically keeps non-planner related stuff in here, so I'm not going to show you anything of what's in here. But on the top, I have a beautiful rose gold letter tray from Kmart. I've also got a really nice green candle that smells really nice in here right now. And then I've got a fish and some other candles at the back there that don't really get lit very often. They're just more there for decoration. So in the gap sort of between the Ikea 9 drawer and my computer, I keep half of my washi storage. So this is a ribbon rack from Spotlight, and it's just got not any particular kind of washi tape, but just it sort of tends to be the new ones or the ones that I've only just bought, sort of tend to live in this side. It's actually sitting on top of an old keyboard box that I've just wrapped in that same marble paper that I wrapped that piece of foam board in. And the reason I did that was just to lift it up a little bit higher so that it sits on the same level as the desk. But it looks really luxe without actually costing me a cent. So I really love that. And it's just a little tip that I've actually used a couple other times around my office. So moving into the first lot of Ikea 5 drawers. So down the bottom is probably the heaviest drawer of all. And I've just got some different bits of cardboard in here, some envelopes, just basically paper supplies and things like that. So in the next drawer up is where I keep all of my extra inserts, and as you can see, I have a ton of them. I love having all these extras though. It's really good for when, especially when I'm doing my YouTube planner, I can just go in and grab some extra inserts and it's just a lot easier. So in the next drawer up, which is the last of the big drawers, I keep all of my extra sticker books, little notepads, big notepads, they all sort of live in here. I am a little bit slack with some of this stuff. I really should be moving it into my cupboard, into my giveaway drawer, but at the moment that's where it stays. The next one here is a bit of a junk drawer, as you can tell. I've got some extra stickers in here, some extra adhesive notes, some washi storage. It's just basically a junk drawer. This whole side does not get used anywhere near as much as the ones on the other side, which you'll see in a minute. And in the top one, I keep all of my pencil cases. Yes, I have hundreds. This one especially is really special. It was made for me before I left the Sunshine Coast by a friend of mine, Sammy. She made that for me and I just adore it. But I'm too scared to take it with me every day in my bag because I don't want to break it. So it kind of lives in there in a really special spot. So moving on to the main desk, if you saw my setup before, this will look awfully familiar to you. I've got my Mac that sits there, of course, and my keyboard. Then I've got some pen holders, so you can see all my Staedtler pens live in there. Also got a couple of extra ones that I've kind of made for myself. And if you want to see videos on how I did that, just let me know. Got a plant behind there because I feel like you always need a little bit of greenery on your desk. And then I've got my gigantic planner collection. So I'm not going to go through what each of them are for, but you can see there's definitely some there that weren't there when I moved. I have accumulated a couple of extras. Basically the first 3, so the mint planner, the So Lovely planner and the black planner, get used more than any other. My bubblegum planner is kind of turned into my sticker planner at the moment, so that gets used a fair amount, but the rest of them are very sporadic and I really need to use them a little bit more often. So just to go over the chair really quickly, the chair is a wingback chair from Super Amart that I bought a little while ago. I love having a squishy chair in here. I do spend a lot of time just sitting in here watching stuff on my Mac as well, so I really like to have a chair that's comfortable. It can get a bit painful if you're sitting in it all day, but I tend not to do that too often, so it's okay. So as you can see, I have redone my vision board since I moved. I think the thing I like most about it now is that it's got those Kmart, actually I think they might be the Kikki.k twinkle lights from last year's Christmas collection, so I love to put them on. I just think it gives it a little bit of, not movement, but it just makes it look really alive. And I've used all stuff from the new Inspiration range. I just think it looks really pretty. Especially when I'm having a bad day, I love to look up at it and just sort of go, yeah, and it just recenters me a little bit, which I really like. So moving down next to my planners, I've got 2 of the 2016, I think, hold on, what are we now? No, 2015 special edition planner boxes. They keep some hard drives and stuff in there, so it's a way of making plain old boring office stuff look a bit pretty by hiding them in there. And then next to that, I've got my main washi storage. This is where I keep most of my washi tape. This is just a drawer kit from Officeworks, and I just try and sort them by colour as much as I possibly can. It doesn't always work, but sometimes it's just an easy way to store them. I love these. I really want to get another one to sort of replace my ribbon storage version. It's just because the ribbon storage is a bit harder to get on and off when you need to use them. But I also keep these by sort of time of the year. So the bottom drawer at the back, I keep my Christmas ones so that I know where they all are. They all sort of live together and it's a bit easier. Next to that, I have the 2016 planner boxes. So one of them kept the black planner in it when I bought it, and I think the other one I got the Paper Lovers book kit when it came out on sale after Christmas. And what I keep in there is my Planner Babe box stuff. I just moved it out of the boxes that they came in so that I felt like I reached for them a bit more. Being in the cupboard, I don't tend to reach at them as much as I think I should. So I have moved them onto my desk at the moment. There's only enough room for 4 though, so that 5th one still lives back in the cupboard with everything else. And then in the corner, I have a storage unit from Ikea. It's actually supposed to be bathroom storage, but I think it looks really nice in here. So just at the top, I just have some candles and an A and a plant up there that is obviously not real, but at least this way I don't have to water it, I don't have to worry about it dying. On the next row down, I keep all of my sticker books. Yes, there are doubles, sometimes triples of books in there, so it's not just all different ones there. Sometimes there are doubles and triples. And then below that, I keep my flutter planners. In there are my stamps, so I keep all my stamps sorted in there. If you want to see a video on that, let me know and I will sort that out. But I also have an old Filofax in there, and then my Kmart Christmas planner, which I will update ready for this year when we get through to Christmas. Okay, so in this next little bit, I've got all of my Kikki.k magazine holders, and if you remember back to the last time I did this video, you'll know that I bought a lot of these secondhand off of Gumtree. I do tend not to buy these in store if I can avoid it. I think I've bought 1 or 2 from in store, but most of them have been online, and you can find them reasonably readily, so just keep your eye on Gumtree if you are interested in these ones. So in the first 3 boxes, I keep my Paper Lovers books. These are what I like to call my in-service Paper Lovers books. So if I need something, I go there first. And if I've already used it, or if I've already torn a bit of it or whatever it might be, I go and get the ones out of my cupboard. The next one has my weird size notepads. So it's got one from the Cute range, and it's got the 2015 limited edition Paper Lovers book that came out at Christmas. And then the next 3 boxes have my B5 and anything smaller notepads. I have a lot of them, but I don't get doubles of these ones. I really try and avoid that if I can. And then the 3 boxes next to that are all my B5. I think that's what they are. No, B4. Anyway, they're the bigger ones. All my bigger notepads all live there. And again, I try not to get doubles of those ones. And then at the front, you'll just see it's a little tripod that I keep my camera on when I'm filming with my phone. And my sunglasses are hiding up there as well, which they shouldn't be there, but that's where they are. And the desk itself, just because it's an extension, no, it's not an extension, it's a whole other bit of the desk that all the washi tape and all these cupboards are sitting on. It's actually a kitchen bench from Ikea. When I went to get another one of my desktops that I already had, they didn't actually sell them anymore in the colour that I wanted, so this was my compromise. It is a little bit different. You can tell very easily that they're not the same piece of wood. They've got different finishes on them and they're different thicknesses, but we've managed to find a way that it kind of all integrates really nicely, and I think it looks really nice. It's definitely a very large space. I don't need this much space, but I do love that I have it because it really gives me the ability to go nuts and plan the way that I want to, and also to film for you guys. It gives us plenty of room in here as well. So in the corner here, I have 2 more of the Ikea 5-drawer Kallax units. Obviously, you can tell I love these things. They're so awesome for storage. And they're basically just sitting so that I can't have both the top drawers out at the same time, but I can basically have all the other ones out if I want to. So starting at the bottom, and this is very similar to the way I used to have it as well, I've got all my adhesive notes in the bottom. They are kind of sorted by type, so I've got like all my little ones at the front, got the Aldi ones at the bottom, and then bigger ones over here, and then sort of all the single ones in the back here. Some of them obviously get used more than others, but at the moment they all live in there. This next drawer is all of my quote cards. Yes, I have hundreds and I love that I do. So in here I've got all of my ones that sort of came in the inspiration kits or anything like that. So they're just in a box from the reject shop, and I've just made tabs using my tab punch board. So they all live in here and they're sorted by theme. So I've got like my mountains range here, the cute ones, the paws ones. And then all the ones that come in boxes are in here at the back. So they're all still in their boxes. I then have a couple right at the back that are secret and special, i.e. another version of this one. So they live at the back where I can't see them, and therefore I forget I have them, and therefore I don't use them because I'm very scared to use those ones. This one's sort of my paper drawer, so anything that I've used part of or not all of that I want to keep gets stuck in here. It's a very messy drawer and I don't like it very much, but it's there. Sorry, I just moved that note out of the way. At the top here in the second drawer, I've got some pens, some fuse tools, some glitters, and my sticker maker. At the back, I've got some hole punches and some other pens and pencils that live back there. At the top here is my sort of go-to drawer. I use this one probably more than any other. I've got my pegs and my paper clips and things up the top here. I've also got all my hole punches, glue tapes, and then a bunch of pens in here as well. This is probably the drawer I reach for most often, but is also one that gets the messiest the fastest. So moving over to the other set, up the top, and these ones don't slide out as nicely because they're a little bit younger. I've got all of my stamps set up in here, so I've got all my alphabet stamps and then all my stamp pads at the side. I've also got my cleaner guy at the back. Still plenty of room in this one, so I'm looking forward to getting some more stamps to put in there. This next one's kind of a mishmashy drawer. I've got my plain white cardboard that lives in here. I've got my micro beads for when I'm doing fuse stuff. And I've got 2 rolls of mink foil because I am investigating ways to use this without having to buy a mink machine. I've also got 2 packets of stapler pens hidden at the back there. This one is my ribbon and die cut drawer, so I've got all my ribbons organised in a box over the side here that I've just wrapped in that same marble adhesive paper. I've got some twine and bits and pieces and some rub-ons that live here as well. These are storage boxes from Officeworks. They're actually supposed to be index card kits or storage folders, but I find that they're really good for keeping die cuts in. So I've just made the same sort of tabs that I did for the quote cards, and the different ranges live in there, and I can just sort of flick to them reasonably easily. And so I've got one little one that keeps all those ones in, and then I've got the big one which keeps the ones that don't fit in the little one. Next drawer down is sort of my tool drawer. So in here I've got my laminator, I've got my planner, my 1, 2, 3 punch board, my 2 trimmers, so my big one and my little one, my tab punch board and my planner punch board, and my fuse tool hiding in here as well. That drawer probably gets used a lot as well. And then at the bottom I have an empty one, which is ridiculous. I should not have an empty drawer in here, but I do. I reorganized everything in here the other week knowing that I was doing this video, so that one kind of ended up empty when I was doing that. But it's always good to have more storage space than you actually need. So at the end of the long sort of desk bit, I've got my makeup station or makeup area. This is just made up of a really big mirror that Ryan has made me. It does actually have LED lights all around the outside. And then it's got an Ikea Kallax sort of desktop unit on the top there that keeps all my makeup in it. If you guys want to see a more in-depth video about my makeup station in general, let me know. I'm not going to tack it on the end of this one just because it's already been too long anyway. But the other thing that's in here is my extra chair. It's used for my makeup in the morning and also used for when I'm doing really long videos and Ryan can't bother standing anymore. That's Ryan's chair, so he has to have a little chair in here as well. So that's just from Officeworks, and it's just one of those sort of put together yourself ones. It is actually really comfy. I didn't think it would be, but it is actually really, really comfortable. So that is my office tour, everybody. I do hope you did enjoy it. Like I said at the start, if you have any questions about anything in the room, just leave it down below or find me on any of my social medias and I can answer any questions that you might have. So the exciting announcement is, if you were tuning in a couple of weeks ago, you would have seen I did a live stream of my sort of unboxing of the new suite range from Kikki.k. That was actually such a massive success, even though I did it all by myself without my cameraman Ryan. So because it was such a success, what I've decided to do is do one live video every single month. So the first one's going to be on August the 16th, and we're going to do it at 8 o'clock. So if you can, 8 o'clock Australian Eastern Standard Time, I should say that, sorry, I always forget. So if you can tune in, then that would be fantastic. If you can't, it will obviously be posted basically straight after it. But I will be taking questions. I'll have something to show you as well. So if you have something in particular you've always wanted me to show you, let me know in the comments down below of this video, or you can send me a message anywhere on socials, and I'll try and do that. But it's also going to be like a live Q&A thing as well. So if you've got any questions you want to ask me, you can either submit them on the night or you can submit them beforehand. I will be keeping track of them all, and I will hopefully get to answer as many as possible. So that's Wednesday the 16th of August at 8 o'clock p.m. Australian Eastern Standard Time. I don't understand time zones very well. I can tell you what time that is in South Australia and Western Australia, but that's just about it. So if you do live internationally, just have a look on like a time and date website, and they'll be able to tell you exactly what time that is. I will be promoting it pretty heavily around all of my videos, so you'll hear it for the next couple of weeks. I promise you won't forget, but just in case, go and put in your planners right now so you don't forget it, because that's what we planned for. So I'm giving you something to plan for. I'm very, very excited. So that's it for today's video, guys. Like I said, I do hope you did enjoy it. Please give it a thumbs up if you did. You can find me on any of my social medias. They're all linked down below. You'll notice Snapchat's gone. Didn't use it, so I've decided to get rid of it, and I'm replacing it with this live video that I'll do once a month. So fingers crossed it all works well. Thanks again for watching. I hope you did enjoy it, and I will see you again really, really soon. Thanks a lot. Bye.